I've always liked the Subaru WRX, but not enough to really buy one. And that was true up until about 3 weeks ago. And then 2 weeks ago, I picked up this 2018 WRX. And in today's video, I want to talk about the 5 reasons why I decided to buy a WRX and why maybe you should consider buying one as well. The first and maybe best reason to consider the WRX is just that it's good, simple fun. It's not the most powerful vehicle out there by any means. It's only got 268 horsepower and a 0 to 60 time of 5.5 seconds, which isn't blazing quick, but it's not slow either. It comes standard with a 6-speed manual transmission, which in a world that is quickly moving to automatics makes it a bit of a unicorn. It's got Subaru's standard all-wheel drive system, so the handling characteristics are awesome. And then it's also got a quad exhaust, which paired to the 4-cylinder doesn't make the best sound in the world, but it makes a little bit of noise when you stomp on the throttle. And the combined effect of all of that is that if you drive the WRX hard, you are guaranteed to have a smile on your face. We've already established that the WRX isn't the most powerful or fastest vehicle out there. It also doesn't have the nicest interior with the latest features, but there's a huge upside to that, and that is that it's affordable. For $27,500, you can get the base model, which is sporty, it's fun to drive, it's got standard all-wheel drive, and to me, that's worth the trade-off. One of the best things about the WRX is that they have excellent resale value, and that's something that you see throughout the whole Subaru lineup, and that's really nice because if or when you decide to sell it, you're going to get a good portion of your original investment back. Now, it does make it a little bit hard to buy a used WRX because they hold their value so well. In a lot of ways, I would recommend just going with a new one. I found during my search that in general, you could either get a used one with like 30,000 miles or a new one for a few $1,000s more. And to me, it's worth it for a few thousand to get the full warranty and a vehicle that hasn't been driven hard, because you know the WRX with 30,000 miles on it has been driven hard, like this one. But I did buy a used one in my case. I found a really good deal and I was able to negotiate down a few more $1,000s. Felt like it was worth it, but again, in general, I'd recommend taking a close look at a new WRX if you're in the market for one. The next reason is that the WRX has excellent handling, and this is good for a couple of reasons. It's good because, again, it's a lot of fun to drive, but then also it makes it better for driving in inclement driving conditions, and ultimately it's safer as a result. It's kind of like the ultimate go-kart. It's, again, just a ton of fun to drive because you've got a low center of gravity, you've got the all-wheel drive system, and so when you're on really windy roads or going around corners really fast, you can just lay into throttle and the vehicle just hugs the road very well. But then that carries over to those inclement driving conditions as well. If it's super snowy or icy, this thing can plow through a lot more snow than a front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive vehicle. Subarus are known for being excellent in inclement driving conditions, and so again, it carries over from that fun component into just making it more practical for driving it in winter weather driving conditions, and makes it safer as well. The final reason to consider the WRX is that it's also very practical. And, you know, as much as all those other things are nice, you know, having something that's sporty, that's fun to drive, that you can take around the corners really quick, when it's all said and done, you want something that's also good for the day-to-day drive. And the WRX is perfectly good at that as well. It's comfortable inside, it's got plenty of amenities, it's very spacious, plenty of room for the 2 car seats in the back, and it's got a large trunk. It's also good for driving, you know, again, in any weather conditions, which isn't something that can be said of all sports cars. And then it also gets good gas mileage. I bought it, 150 miles away from where I live, and I had about a 3-hour drive to get home, and I had to climb a few thousand feet in elevation, and it was the first time that I really had a chance to open it up, and so I drove it pretty hard. And I still managed about 35 miles per gallon on the way home, which I was very impressed by. The numbers dropped to about 30 miles per gallon average with some in-town driving now. But I was very impressed with that. I think it's another real benefit of WRX. And all said and done, the fact that it is good at so many things, but also practical at the end of the day, makes it a really great option to consider. Well, there you have it. That's 5 reasons I would consider buying the WRX. If you have additional input, I'd love to hear it in the comments section below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And in the meantime, thanks for watching.